Hey, good morning, Mizzou fans. Gabe DeArmond here, PM in the AM, Wednesday, June 18th. We're talking basketball. Just a few minutes ago, Missouri released its 2025-26 schedule. The full thing, the SEC announced opponents this morning, and then Missouri announced the full schedule just a few minutes later. And if you were hoping this was the year you were going to see some more exciting non-conference games and maybe even a midseason tournament and a little something different, well, sorry, maybe next year. It appears that's not going to happen. We're in year 4 of Dennis Gates. I'm just ready to accept the fact that this is how he schedules. The press release from Missouri states that Missouri is going to play 19 NCAA tournament teams. That is true. However, 16 of those teams are SEC teams. 2 of them are Kansas and Illinois. That accounts for 18 games. That means Missouri chose to play one NCAA tournament game. And don't say they chose to play Kansas and Illinois. Those games were already on the schedule. Illinois is on the schedule every year. Those were not games Missouri chose to play. Those games were contracted before Dennis Gates got here. So by choice, they are playing one NCAA tournament team this season. The other ones, they have to. And look, I think some of you will probably say, shut up. They're playing 19. Who cares how they got there? Look, guys, this is partly for the fans, right? And this home schedule is just not a home schedule that gets me very excited. I'm going to show it to you right now. The non-conference schedule, there's Buffalo, SEMO, VMI, Minnesota, Prairie View, South Dakota, a team with an S whose logo, I don't know what that is offhand, Cleveland State, Notre Dame, which again, ACC, SEC challenge, not really Missouri's choice. Kansas, Illinois, Bethune-Cookman, and I don't know, some Yellow Jackets. I don't know who those are. It's just, there's not a lot of meat there other than the games that weren't really chosen by Missouri and Dennis Gates. The home schedule, Kansas is not at home. Illinois is not at home. Notre Dame is not at home. So the big non-conference home draw, the big home game before January is Minnesota. I get it's hard to get somebody to come here. I get you have to schedule a road game in exchange. Now the SEC home schedule is great. Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Vanderbilt. They're all NCAA tournament teams. Those are all great home games. On the road, Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, those are tough games. Ole Miss is a tough game. A&M's a tough place to play. I don't know how tough a game it is, but you look at the road games. I mean, you get LSU, which I'm not sold is all that good. Mississippi State, we'll see. Oklahoma, I don't think was all that good last year. South Carolina, not all that good. So the conference schedule honestly works out. You're never going to have an easy schedule in this league, but I would bet if I looked at the other 15 schedules, Missouri's probably works out pretty well as far as what Dennis Gates might want. But just looking at that schedule, I think we're going to get to the end of this year and we're going to be talking about, well, yeah, if they're a 7 seed, maybe they could have been a 5. If they're a 5, maybe they could have been a 3. And I don't know how good Missouri's going to be or not be. I will say, looking at that schedule, my full expectation is an NCAA tournament. And if it's not an NCAA tournament, I think it's highly disappointing. Again, I know there are people out here that aren't going to agree with me on this. I look at that schedule and it doesn't do anything to excite me at all. Until basically December, I don't know, 7th or 9th, whenever the KU game is, there's nothing on there that excites me. At least there's a road trip to Notre Dame. Like, that's interesting. I've heard of them before. Minnesota at home being the marquee non-conference home game is it's disappointing. I want to see Missouri go to, even if it's not Maui or Atlantis, like getting one of these tournaments in Myrtle Beach or Daytona. Give me something that is more exciting than like 8 games against teams that the only outcome that surprises me is a complete and utter disaster. And then the power conference games against Minnesota and Notre Dame. Again, you are contracted. You're going to play 16 SEC games. You're going to play Kansas and Illinois. So those are set. That's not what this is about. It's the other, what would that add up to? 13 or 12 games on the schedule, whatever it is, 11 games that you actually have some choice in. And there's just nothing there, guys. There's nothing there to tell the fans, hey, get excited. And I know some of you will be more excited if they're, 10-0 in those games than if they went out and played somebody. Personally, I like to see games that hold a little bit more intrigue than what this schedule holds. Again, I think the schedule should put Missouri in the NCAA tournament. I think that should have been the expectation before the schedule was released. I'd just like to see a little bit more. But we're 4 years in. I think we're far enough in that to expect that. Like, if I go in expecting that and I'm disappointed, that's my fault. Because we've seen what the schedule is going to be in 4 years. It's going to be Kansas, Illinois, the ACC Challenge, and one other power conference team. And then it's going to be a whole bunch of games that they absolutely should not lose. Last year, the game was Memphis, on the road. This year, it's Minnesota at home. And then it's just a bunch of games that we're just going through practices for the 19 games that really matter. So we've got a story up, or we'll shortly have a story up with the full schedule. You guys can check it out there. Appreciate you hanging out here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Come over, sign up for 50% off your first year of a VIP membership, and we'll be back tomorrow.